Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Piofiore 1926 in the Alternativa route still, but this is the last part of it. This is it. Last part for Alternativa. Anyway, and we are going to get our New Year ending, which is basically probably our single independent woman ending because we're going to bounce all over the place, not hang out with any guy too much, not get any points with anybody, basically, or get scattered, and not end up with any of them. Because we've done all the routes that we can possibly do and all the endings off of this. So, we're going to jump right in. We go to Dante's office. So, we're going to be skipping through, I'm going to say a majority of this, and then we will, probably then have to watch the credits, so half of this part will literally be watching the damn credits again. You know how much I freaking hate that shit. It just drives me crazy, but I'm gonna attempt it. I'm gonna guarantee you half of this is gonna be as damn credits. Oh my god. But yeah, so we'll just be making our choices. We'll be staying at different places, but because we've done everybody already, I'm gonna guess unless there's a little scene here and there, where we jump in, you won't, you know what I mean? And based on this in the guide, I think I said this in the last part, there's always right before Dante's route, we are going to go to the Lao Shu this time. There's always oh, here's a little picture for Dante above Dante's part and whatever. This one is, there's a little picture of MC and Elena. So, and it also does mention, Otome Kitten puts in her guide that this will unlock a CG, and it's one of the most adorable CGs in the game. I think she underestimates Dante curling up with a cat that's basically his size as a child. Okay, I'm just saying. Or Orlok getting licked by that dog. Those are the most adorable CGs in this game, so we'll see. But yeah. So I'm gonna guess it's, that's why it was the single independent woman route, because, who else are we gonna romance? We're not gonna romance the Phantom, because he dies. And we're not romancing anyone, so we're gonna have, it's probably going to be, look for a snack. Going to be us and Elena hanging out and being friends. And that's gonna go... That'll be our last CG of the others. Not really. We still have one missing, but again, I think that's going to be the final game unlock after we go through Henry's route and completely finish. You're going to have usually what they do, you have the congratulations, thanks for finishing the game type of a CG, and that's probably what's going to go there. So that will be our last technical CG. Kind of sad when they do that though, because at the end of the game you want to that should be the end CG when we end the part, but we'll go through Henry's route, finish, do all his bad endings, and then we'll have to probably come back and be this is where we're just going to poke around and listen to the voice acting and stick around in here and have some fun. So you know what I mean? Anyway, oh shit, I kind of lost where we were because I wasn't paying attention. I think I think the next one's the choice to stay with the Visconti family. Because that was the incident, side story that we just saw, right? I was just skip through the side story I wasn't reading, and this guide is it's just all in one line, as opposed to okay, now you're in chapter 4, so we stay with the Visconti family this time. Because we don't want to get too much with each family. Yeah, so this part's gonna go fast. That's okay. Last part was super long. This part is literally 5 minutes. This is gonna be a 10-minute part. I'm sorry. I kind of it is not really fair to have say had Dante's cut off oh, what's this? Can you tell us more? There's no time. Hurry, please help. The boy's face was desperate as he urged us to go with him. Got it. Neil responded without any hesitation. This is different. So, where did you last see them?
Over there!
The boy shook as he pointed to a far corner of the plaza. Can you take us there?
Yeah?
So maybe Gil doesn't get shot. We made our way through the crowd, following the young boy's lead. That might be what's different. But we soon hit a dead end in the search, finding no trace of his parents. Oh no. The boy was even more shaken than before and on the verge of tears.
Some strange guy came to our house? He told us to act like we're a family and that he'd kill us if we didn't do as he said.
This bizarre story left me speechless.
He must have taken Mama and Papa. What do I do?
We'll find him, but you have to be brave and do your best for them. Gil gave the boy some words of encouragement before we set off for the boy's house. This is interesting. When we arrived, the place was completely empty. We couldn't find his parents anywhere. If what he said is true, they might even be... Who would do such a deranged thing? Gil's expression hardened, and in it, I could see the look of the Visconti boss reappear. We don't catch this guy, he could do the same thing to another family. We'll share what we know with the police and let everyone know to keep an eye out. Okay, but this is going to be interesting, so it's going to change that scene later where he's like, yeah, no, I'm fine, and we talk about him getting shot. There was another person we needed to tell.
It's all my fault!
As painful as the news would be, we needed to explain to the boy what was going on. Upon realizing that his parents were truly missing, he began to blame himself and cry. I mean, at least we didn't get Gil shot, but at least, no offense, Gil, I think you getting shot was the better option. Because you got shot, you were fine, and, at least we got the boy back with his parents. You know what I mean? I'm sorry I couldn't find them. Gil looked regretful as he apologized to him. But none of this is your fault. This is all because of that strange guy you saw. I'll find him and make him pay. It's a promise between men, you and me. Gil's voice was bold and determined. How adorable. The boy nodded slightly with watery eyes.
Thanks, Senor Redford. It's a promise.
The fuck do you know my name? I'm just kidding. A short while later, the boy ended up leaving Berlin to live with relatives outside of town. Oh, I thought we were going to put him at the orphanage. More than 10 days since the incident with the boy had occurred. Okay. So we kind of just So I'm just going to assume that what they do is instead of being like, I went to talk to Gil, blah, 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 and they just pull out the little lines about him getting shot because he didn't get shot. And instead of well, it's a totally different scene now. It's everything you heard, but it's only 80% because the other 10% was about him being shot, and we just, you know what I mean? So again, props to the people who coded all this so you can skip all the shit you've already read, but negative 10 points to Gryffindor for leaving the credits unskippable after this 37th time I've watched it. I'm sorry, it just annoys me. Excuse me? My stupid frickin' controller is doing its glitch thing again. It's getting bad. Alright. Okay, so now we're gonna tell this guy, oh, look at that! Now there's all these choices! Emilio! Whoops, that was me. I clicked the thing. I might have done that accidentally in the last one, but I don't think I did. It probably was me, because the drift, it would be like, ding, 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 ding. You know, what the hell is happening? Freaking controller is possessed. Possible. No, that was me again. I can't remember buttons now. Alright, here we go. This is the last. So where are we going to find the crown and the record, the last record? So this is, okay, hold on. So we're going to find out where we go. I mean, I'm assuming everything here would be the same. It's going to be interesting to see who we go with. Okay, so we're talking, figuring it out. Okay, who's going with me? Where are we going? Who are we going with? Oh, we went with Yang! Interesting! Alright! That's interesting. Okay. We went to France. That's an interesting choice. Huh. And it's like, and we found the crown where we found the thing. In Rome. Wait, what? It's funny, like, they just get random bits. I watched the children practicing for the play with a smile. You've all done so well today. Why don't we stop here and have a break? It's sunny and warm today, so we can have our snack out here in the garden.
Yay!
The children cheered happily. Or Leo, okay. Nothing to report? Good, then continue your rounds around the premises. Oh, and the kids are playing in the garden, so keep an eye on them too. After giving my orders, I took a short break. The wind carried the happy, innocent laughs of the kids while they played. I noticed a car parking in front of the church. What day was this? I totally missed. Oh my god! Oh my god! Did we... Oh my god, it's the 20th of December. That was because that's the one that right? To tell you? That's a monologue. Right? Because isn't that where we, like... Isn't that, like, oh, we saw the kids, and then we'd skip through, and then it's Christmas? Oh my god. Oh my god, this is definitely different. Okay. Alright. Fair game. A man in fancy clothes stepped out from it. You better not hurt Leo! But look at this. Again? I guess it's because Christmas is just around the corner. Church did go through a heck of a lot this year. Look at this suit. Again, as a suit sexual, you know, this, I'm here for this. A lot of people have been coming by lately with donations. Not wanting to get in his way, I stepped off to the side to give him space. Oh, look, he's so gorgeous. It's mostly the suit and the mask. Like, he could literally probably look like a thumb, and I'd still be like, he's gorgeous, because the mask and the suit. But I'm pretty sure if you take the mask off, if you take if you took the mask and the suit off, he'd probably still be gorgeous, but he'd also be naked. And that could help. I don't know. It was then that I realized he was wearing a mask. He tried to walk past me without a word. Now just... I reached out to grab his shoulder, but... First thing I felt was heat. Then came a throbbing pain and I knew I'd been stabbed. He didn't show any signs of aggression. He stabbed me as quickly and easily as if he were just turning around. My strength left me and I fell to the ground. Look, we're looking at his fancy shoes. Damn it, he got me. But Leo better be alright. Quickly grabbed his ankle to stop him.
Please refrain from doing that. You'll get blood on my shoe.
The man kicked me hard. Force loosened my grip and he strode away toward the garden. Damn it, I can't get up. He shivved me in the frickin' kidney. Tried with all my might to yell for help, but my voice came out in a wheeze. I needed to let the boss know. Aw, poor Leo. You better not be dying. This Happy New Year ending better not end with Leo dead, because that is not a Happy New Year. That is bullshit.
I'm gonna get you now!
After snack time, the children were laughing and chasing each other around the garden. It was then that Laura accidentally bumped into someone all of a sudden.
I'm sorry, mister!
The man patted Laura on the shoulder as she apologized.
Not to worry. Are you hurt? It was very fortunate that you didn't impale yourself on my knife. After all, I cannot hold you hostage if you're dead.
And the man's hand was a knife dripping with blood. Could you imagine? Oh my god, how traumatic.
Good day, Space. You've kept me waiting a good long while, so I decided to pay you a visit instead.
Standing in front of me was a man impeccably dressed. I know, I love how we constantly comment on how fabulous his outfit is, and it's true. He wore a mask that hid the upper half of his face, and beneath it was an eerie smile. Suddenly, I remembered a conversation from before. Suddenly, I remembered Dante telling me about how he's scared of birds. I'm just kidding. Last year, we got word of a certain man causing trouble in a Chicago speakeasy, and the locals refer to this person as the Phantom. He apparently wears antique clothing like lavish stage attire, and only appears in front of others wearing a mask. Is he... Laura! Elena went completely pale at the sight of Laura, shaking in fear. The other children around us were completely quiet, struck with terror at the sudden event. I tried my best to keep my voice from shaking. Let her go! His smile didn't leave his face as he tilted his head slightly to the side.
And then, Signorina, are you free tonight? Perhaps we can enjoy a leisurely dinner. You must forgive me for a cliched line, but should you refuse, the child gets it.
So wrong, it's so funny. The child gets it. Fear gripped my heart. If I had been the only one here, I would have made a run for it. I wouldn't even dare to stand up against him. But Laura, Elena, and the other children were still there. If I say yes, will you let her go? If I refused, he'd kill her without a second thought. The masked man's smile widened as he nodded with delight.
Yes, yes. I'm pleased by your immediate understanding of the situation, Signorina, as expected from my dear new friend.
Space, no! See, and this would be the Phantom's ending, but we're obviously not gonna. Elena tried desperately to stop me, but I simply shook my head in response. I had a sliver of hope that maybe one of the guards would take notice, but for some reason I didn't sense anyone coming in response to the commotion. I have to follow him. I tightened my trembling fist, looking at the Phantom with a harder glare than before. Let her go.
I'd be happy to, so long as you take her place.
I slowly walked toward him. After coming sufficiently close, he happily let go of Laura and grabbed a hold of me.
A wise choice, Signorina. And now let us depart. I have a car waiting for us.
I'm still mad we never got an Oliver, CG. I'm just saying. Failure, game. Failure. As we walked toward the front of the grounds, I encountered a sight that made my heart stop. Leo! Leo was lying on the ground, covered in his own blood, and didn't respond at all. He better not be dead. He better have just blacked out. I wanted to run to his side, but the knife pressing against me kept me from moving away. Is the blood on his knife from Leo?
No, Signorina. Let us make haste, lest we be late for dinner.
He gracefully beckoned me into his car. Please, Elena, anyone. I climbed into the car, praying that someone would find and tend to Leo.
Isn't it beautiful? My cabinet of curiosities.
A collection of displayed objects which not only reflects the curator's interest, but also conveyed their social status. Many of the finest cabinets of curiosities contain objects similar to what one would find in a museum today. He happily showed me into his workshop. The first thing I noticed were the taxidermy mounts, including a parrot and a birdcage. Oh. The room was decorated very purposefully, but with an unmistakable chaos that unnerved me. And again, that parrot is like really tiny. I mean, compared to the giant owl. The swords were displayed beside a nearby bookshelf. Eerie jars among beautiful porcelain pieces. A gramophone on a long desk. What was clear was that this room was filled with a wide variety of his many pastimes. What are these? He heard me muttering to myself and nodded with satisfaction. Oh, I'm sorry, Bird.
Yes, a wonderful collection, isn't it? And now then, Signorina, you haven't touched a thing. Is there perchance a dish not to your liking?
It seemed he was serious about his dinner invitation, as the table was set prior to our arrival. Hold on, I have an itch in my ear that's under my headset. But, yeah, I don't think I'd want to eat his food because oh god, girl, don't eat it. The bakery thing and all the other oh god, it's all people. Between us was a pâté de it's like champagne, but without an H. So I have no idea how to pronounce that. Garnished with pickles, because it's not, some people say like champagne, but I have no idea. Like you're like, I want to say campagne, but like that's so not right. I don't even know. There's like so like that's a word that's very similar to other words that you know, and you're like, and yet no, I can't. Anyway, there was also a soup of an ashy gray color, perhaps made with wild mushrooms. When he posed the question to me, I couldn't help but wonder who in their right mind would be excited to eat now without hesitation.
Ah, perhaps you're wary of the ingredients. And there's no need to worry. I wish to enjoy our time to the fullest, so I didn't add anything questionable. And though I must admit the thought did cross my mind. I tried some test samples myself, and they didn't agree with me, so I did away with the idea. You see, you're a very special guest.
His reassurances weren't enough to persuade me to even take a single bite. As he began to eat with the utmost delicacy, I decided to ask him a question that I needed to confirm before anything else. Does any of this people? Are you really the Phantom? His lips curved into a smile. His appearance seemed to match the unique description of the Phantom in Chicago. His style of speech was similar to the records. He casually called me Space and displayed the same lack of remorse when it came to harming others. There was no one else it could have been.
Impressive! I'm delighted you were able to deduce my identity at first glance. You already recognize me as a friend would.
I mean, what other crazy person dresses in the lavish suits and masks? Aside from Henry when he was the direttore, but different, you know. I broached the next topic cautiously. Why have you been killing innocent people?
My dearest friend was killed by the Burlone Mafia, so I decided to return the favor by killing their friends in the same fashion. However, it turns out that they have no friends. To be precise, very few to speak of, which is why I decided on a different approach. It's impossible to make friends so suddenly, so I thought I might begin with an exchange of words. As they say, love thy neighbor.
Yeah, they actually have a lot of good friends. It's themselves, though, so, like, you'd have to kill Gil to get, like, and it just would kind of just ruin the whole plot of this game, wouldn't it? You'd be like, ruins the point of me going down Gil's route if you kill Gil to get back at Dante or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Also, Dante denies that Gil is his friend, so it's fine.
So I became a neighbor myself and watched them very carefully. And those they met with, I identified as their friends.
I was at a loss for words. This was his justification for brutally murdering innocent townspeople? The truth was making me sick to my stomach. Bird, please, you can't shove yourself into my esophagus. The way you killed them was beyond cruel. Was that all for your own entertainment? I knew each word I spoke put me in danger. But more than fear, I was impelled to speak from a growing sense of sorrow and anger. I could never be friends with someone who would do something like that.
My. Are you not aware that the Burlone Mafia of your own Potere? Whatever, was responsible for the death of my one and only friend? Are those murderers not your friends? How is it that they can be forgiven? Could this be to do with rose-colored glasses? Favoritism, perhaps?
In response to his sneering questions, I shook my head. They aren't anything like you.
They kill for what they believe in. To speak in their terms, murdering in the name of pride, with nary a hint of pleasure. Do you believe my purpose is unforgivable, but not theirs? How very irrational of you. And the deaths we cause, the Mafia and I, are for the same reason. I kill for what I believe in, just as they do. Human beings live through the sacrifice of others, consuming meat, destroying landscapes, polluting the air, muddying the ocean.
We don't muddy the ocean, silly. We throw plastic in it. God, he's like, he doesn't get up with the times. The Phantom, Sebastiano Gallier, spoke of these ideas in a steady melody of thought. Wow. No, it's completely different. I looked at him and spoke in a quiet voice. I could feel myself trembling, but I did my best not to look away from him. The things we do to live, to defend ourselves, are different from murder. We may sometimes resort to behavior that's less than ideal, but that's part of being human. But you're different. You're hurting and killing other people for your own pleasure.
I cannot deny that.
Burlone Mafia has killed their fair share of people, and even I was afraid of them. But they're made up of different individuals, each of whom had their own reasons for fighting. I don't think any of them derive pleasure from brutality. Well, Dante might have, when he was slicing up Raoul, but it was like, more like Raoul pushed. He didn't just do it just for funsies. It was like, I'm going to kick out of this because you've fucked up the waters too much already, buddy.
I see. And did you, by chance, make a similar excuse to Henry before?
Now we have to be Henry in Henry voice, even though we're just the Phantom in Henry voice. Poor little Henry, look at him.
Aren't you scared of the Mafia?
Of course I'm scared of them. Violence and crime are never right. But after getting to know them better, I realized they're made up of many people. His masked face was so focused on me that I could almost feel a physical pressure from it.
And the reason I brought you here was not due to any interest in you as a person. As hypocritical as your ideals are, I'll not argue them further. I simply wish to ask, what was it that Henry Lambert saw? Had he gone about his vengeance in a different way, he could have decimated the Mafia quite easily. And yet he spent so much time in preparation. What drove him to resort to that approach? I do not yet know the answer.
When I couldn't say anything, he smiled.
It would be meaningless to ask the Burlone Mafia since they possess a similar mindset to me. But rather than being motivated by pure emotion, the Mafia would rather choose a strategic approach befitting of the situation, no? Which is why I ask you, an ordinary woman who's also the key maiden, Spacey Adornado, how often... Oh, he often came to see you, didn't he?
Yes. I nodded, remembering our previous encounters. He kept warning me not to get involved with the Mafia.
So he was worried about you, and you still disregarded his advice. He must have felt the sting of betrayal, just as...
De Vespers Sicilines? Grand opera composed by Giuseppe Verdi, first performed at the Opera de Paris in 1855. Oh, Vepres. Not Vespers. Well, I threw an S in there somewhere. Vepres? Sicilianis. Something about, I'm assuming that's Sicily. He thinks I betrayed him? I knew the Phantom was trying to provoke me, but I quieted my mind to try and remember what it was that Henry said to me.
Yes, and the world would seek punishment. And don't let it bother you. You were in the right. My answer is the same. He should never be forgiven, no matter what. He can't even save her soul. The only thing he can do is end the tragedy.
I don't think you're right. He would never have thought that I or anyone else betrayed him. The Phantom silently waited for me to go on. In fact, it seems as though he considered himself unforgivable. As though he regretted everything he had done in pursuing his revenge.
Regret, you say?
Phantom's lips contorted at the word. He just didn't have any options left, but I think a part of him wanted to be stopped. I didn't say it aloud. It would be arrogant of me to speak on his behalf since I was at fault for his death.
Thank you very much, Signorina. You've told me precisely what I wished to hear. Well, this means I no longer have any use for you. What to do? Shall I use your corpse to rile up the Mafia once again?
I didn't know if he only said it to scare me, but I did know that he thought nothing of the idea of doing the very thing he suggested. I knew enough about him from the records he had sent us thus far. But I did have one option left. Kick it! Oh! We have the gun! Wait, right? Because we saw... Right? Yes, we saw Dante in the very beginning. That's where we saved. And then we saw doing this. So, oh, girl. Yeah. I'd like you to learn how to use a gun. Nice. Oh, I love how that came in handy. Guns can kill people, but they can also save them. You may find yourself in danger, so I want you to learn how to use one just in case. And that never occurred to me that we were going to be here doing this. I just didn't even think about it. I still had the gun that Dante gave me to protect myself in case of emergency. Ooh! As if he could read my thoughts, the Phantom spoke lightheartedly.
I'm fully aware of that gun you're carrying, but I do wonder if you can use it.
Oh, I can use it! Maybe. I'd never pointed one at a person before. My body went tense at the thought of shooting someone even as unforgivable as him. We are such a good person. I felt fear at the pit of my stomach. Different sort of fear than the one I felt when he held his knife against me. But, Phantom, ever since the very beginning, I've wanted to stop you from killing more people. The Phantom smiled with amusement.
So then, will you kill me? Or rather, can you?
Here's the thing. There's a part of me that wants her to freaking take him out just because it's like, take out your own nightmare, you know what I mean? Independent woman! We don't need no man. But on the other hand, like, for her, it might almost be better for the boys to rush in and save our ass, because I don't know if she could, even though the Phantom is so unforgivable and this is your option, it's him or you know what I mean? Like, you're in that situation, I don't know if she could ever, like, get past it. I think she could eventually learn to forgive herself because, listen, it was he kills me or I kill him, and if he killed me, he would go off to kill a ton more people, and he's the only person I'm going to kill. You know what I mean? So, like, but it's like, but the fact that you still had to resort to that is still something that I don't know if she could get past. You know what I mean? I almost feel like this is the time where actually having men rush in and save me might be a better thing. You know? I couldn't answer his question. I didn't have confidence in my resolve or my skill, but if the alternative was being killed by him, I'd do what I could to defend myself. Of course, it's better if you never encounter a situation where you'll need to use it. I didn't want to waste the opportunity Dante gave me, to dismiss his concerns only to die a miserable death. I'd made my decision. And they bust in. Nice! Okay. She's like, I'm gonna do it! Oh, thank God. The door slammed open and I was suddenly met with familiar faces. Oh! My harem is finally here! Minus one who's died, so, like, that's okay. And not Oliver, but it's okay. He's on a mountain for some reason.
Oh, what horrid timing! You brutes have barged in just as we were getting friendly. I despair at your lack of manners.
Those are bold words coming from her abductor. You okay, Space?
Yes.
You were the brute here, Gallier. You abducted her after telling us to search for your workshop. Your strange attachment to her was clear from listening to all of your records.
Attachment? Mine? How very strange. Surely you cannot be serious.
He tittered with amusement at what Dante said.
And the night the church crumbled to the ground, the Berlin Mafia protected her first and foremost, and that did not escape my notice. She was protected not only because she is the Key Maiden, but because of your relationship with her, which was very convenient for me.
Is this my man harem ending? I hope it's my man harem ending.
Had I chosen a particular family to receive my messages, there was no guarantee the information would reach the rest. So I decided to send the records to her, given your own strange attachment to her, so that my messages could be heard by everyone.
What he said did make sense, especially since the Phantom revealed to me today that he had no interest in me.
I must commend you for finding my atelier. You did arrive earlier than I expected, but so be it.
It's so funny, he's like, I have no interest. He has no interest in me. You know what? That's extremely rude. Every other man in this room has an interest in me. All the men that I've met that I don't even get around with have an interest in me. Why don't you? Why won't you love me? That's why we need a route with him. We're going to stay, and he's going to be like, why do you insist on staying here? Because I want you to love me like everyone else does, goddammit. I can't handle a character not being in love with me. Even if I'm not into them, they need to be in love with me. That's the whole point of these games. And this is why we go to couples therapy. You weren't the reason we arrived early. And now then, hand over the Iron Crown. Nicholas spoke coldly with his gun pointed at the Phantom. The corners of the Phantom's mouth quivered as he reached for one of the nearby shelves.
Why, certainly. If you'd please wait a moment. I believe it was around here somewhere. Ah, there you are.
He pulled out a delicate antique crown that was adorned with jewels. That's the Iron Crown? I was actually picturing, like, crown. Not just like a circlet kind of crown like this. And then like, and like a Burger King crown, you used to get at Burger King when you were a kid, the paper crowns, they got like the little things on the top, pointy things. And then but iron colored, not like this. This is pretty.
You've all done well, but you still have not fulfilled your end of the bargain, but I suppose this will do. I'm quite generous. I shall return this to the place it belongs.
Before he even finished speaking, the Phantom tossed the iron crown into the burning fireplace. Dante immediately ran toward the fire to retrieve it, just as the Phantom pulled out a gun. Orlok dashed in front of Dante to shield him. What? The Phantom pulled the trigger. Oh no. Ugh. In the echo of gunfire, I could hear Orlok groan in pain as he pressed a hand to his open wound. Before I knew it, Nicola was already standing right beside me. Now don't you move! Gil kept the Phantom at bay by shooting near his feet. Orlok! Why did you cover me?
It was my duty to protect the keepers of the grave.
Seeing Dante's eyes shift in confusion, Orlok continued to speak. He better not die either! This is not the ending I want!
There were some things I couldn't do, but this time I could.
And that's all.
There's nothing for you to be sorry about.
Dante's like, I didn't fucking say I was sorry. I'm just kidding.
Now, Phantom, a countdown's begun. Perhaps honesty will save you.
You think he'd comply? It's a waste of time.
Yes, of course. I have no intention of saying a thing. Will you be torturing me? That's your specialty, isn't it, Signor Francesca?
Unfortunately, I don't consider you worth the effort.
I agree. Since you have decided to withhold the truth, there's no reason to be merciful. We'll take care of matters after we dispose of your corpse. Simple as that. Yes, a very wise decision.
Dante quietly raised his gun at the Phantom with unforgiving eyes. Do you have any last words? The masked man turned toward his executioner. He smiled silently and gave a graceful bow.
Nothing at all. I am but a lifeless phantom after all. I'll merely return to death where I belong.
He didn't look scared at all. His cheeks were flushed with excitement. I just now noticed, the burn mark on the side of his face. Was that always there? I never noticed that all the other times we've seen his character. Holy shit. What the hell?
But I can say only this. I was never the madman you believed me to be.
Well, that's not true.
I was but a dreamer of following his heart.
Well, the fact that you think that and that killing people doesn't make you a madman absolutely makes you more of a madman than we expected. That's... Woo! He exclaimed it with a theatric flourish. There was no trace of humanity in the words he spoke, as though reciting it from a script. Yang smiled coldly, tired of the performance.
Then follow it to your death.
We got no use for phantoms, lifeless or otherwise. Phantom, this will be your atonement. His finger tightened around the trigger. Dante was the one. The gunshot echoed in the enclosed room. The bullet pierced the Phantom's head and he fell to the floor without another word. Blood slowly began to pool around him. Something Yang just said in Chinese that I cannot pronounce, I'm not even going to attempt. Okay?
Miserable fool.
An idiom used to refer to unrealistic fantasies or illusory dreams that have been shattered.
He was unrepentant until the end.
And after all of the crimes he committed, Orlok seems fine. He got over that bullet. However it ended, one thing is clear. And now that the curtains have fallen, they won't be rising again. The Phantom lived and died as he pleased, meeting his end without a word of apology or regret. So came the end of the Phantom, the shadow that haunted and brought misfortune to the souls of Berlone. Also, where was there a fireplace that he chucked that into? I'm just saying. I'm just going to see if this is similar. few days later, we were gathered in a hotel room for another meeting. Orlok pushed through his injury and attended as well.
Ah, this is indeed the Iron Crown of Monza. Well done.
Emilio gazed at it for a moment, then looked at everyone with a gentle smile. Okay. I was like, we gotta wait for Emilio to show his face. Emilio! Here you go.
The Burlone Mafia and the Key Maiden, Spacey Hernato. Thank you. I knew that you'd succeed in recovering this relic. As promised, in exchange for the Iron Crown, the Church will keep the government from interfering with Burlone for 3 years.
He put the crown away and looked at us again. He put it under his little beret.
I'd like to say that we'll meet again, but perhaps by now you all consider my appearance to be the harbinger of bad news. As such, I shall leave it at that, except to add, may the Lord bless you and keep you.
Aw, they might think you're the harbinger of bad news, but I love you, Emilio. Bidding us farewell, Emilio departed. After all this time, he was still a mystery to me, as though he wasn't of this world. He's not, man, sorta.
The Church will fulfill their promise, and the government will stay away from this town and the Burlone Mafia. For 3 years at least. Even if we're shielded from government interference, there's the matter of the shield itself. Should another issue arise in the future, it's likely the Church will have us do their bidding.
Okay, I was gonna say, that seems very similar. Are you going to stay in Burlone, Orlok?
I was planning to, but now I'm not so sure. His Excellency Bishop Rosberg sent a message through Emilio. The opportunity for me to resign my position as a disciple.
Huh? I hadn't expected to hear that at all. God, he's so young and he gets to retire? And could it be because you were injured in protecting me?
Oh.
Orlok quickly shook his head.
Well, my injury was one of the reasons I was offered the chance to resign.
I'm sorry,
You don't need to apologize, Dante. I did what I needed to do back then.
Orlok thought for a moment, then continued to speak.
I was raised to be a disciple, and after that, I lived in dedication to my mission as expected of me. I can't imagine not being a disciple, but His Excellency told me that I've done more than enough, so I can finally rest and live my life. Which is why, well, I was thinking of making the best of the opportunity.
The smile on Orlok's face came naturally as he spoke about a brighter future. Gonna go into baking. He's not good at it, but, you know, it's okay, he tries. In addition, the Foul Zone member who was stabbed by the Phantom of the Church has made it out alive. I love how he says, in addition, the Foul Zone member. You mean Leo? Thank God. Call him by his name. We also found all the smallpox ampules, though it was a pain to search through that workshop. And creepy. The strange base was filled with all sorts of paraphernalia of unknown origin and purpose. Considering what was inside the ampules, it must have been painstaking work to recover them all as carefully as possible. We also captured all the Phantom's accomplices. But we kindly asked the one we captured at the workshop, and he disclosed everyone's names, as well as where they were hiding. Nicola's report was indeed good news, but even I knew what it meant when Nicola kindly asked anyone anything. I go, kindly asked is in quotes. I believe we have everyone in custody now. Seems like he had no other backup. Oh, and about the guys we captured. I did not torture them. That's a load of crap. The Phantom is dead. That's the only requiem we can offer to the victims now. Suppose, if he somehow survived, he would have killed countless others. While many lives were lost, we could at least take solace knowing the deaths ended there. Is it time for annoying credits? Oh, no, okay. Oh, right, because it's the New Year ending. We're going to have a scene after the credits, but on New Year's Eve, I was enjoying a festive dinner with my church family in celebration of the new year. Among the traditional dishes served were panzerotti, and polenta made with freshly ground corn. We also had fettuccine with lentils, as well as spicy zampone. Zampone? I've had zeppoli? Is that what they're called? Zappolis? Anyway, after the feast, Elaine and I began clearing the table when...
Let me take care of that, you two. Why don't you head over to the plaza?
Huh? Are you sure, Sister Sophia? Oh, it's good. Oh my God, is it all of us together? Is it a group? CG, I'm gonna die.
Yes, it's New Year's Eve after all, and not to mention that the town is safe again. I'll watch the children tonight, so don't worry. You two just enjoy yourselves.
Oh, thank you, Sister Sophia. Let's get going, Space. Right, thank you, Sister Sophia. We'll try not to come back too late.
I expect you not to be back until tomorrow morning.
Elena and I quickly dressed up to go outside. I love you, bird, but goddamn, your claws on my throat are killing me. A large crowd had gathered at the plaza where they eagerly awaited midnight. We were having some trouble making our way through the lively crowd. I figured the CG was going to be Elena and me. But their merry faces made me happy to celebrate the peaceful end of another year. There are more couples out here tonight than families. That's right, now that you mention it. They must have spent Christmas with their families and wanted to be with their beloved on New Year's Eve. Elena looked at them wistfully as we walked, but I spotted one couple that perhaps felt differently. There's so many couples. When she said that, I was like, okay, which of our two boys is it going to be? Because, like, I saw one couple that looked different, and you knew, but I was not expecting Marco and Roberto. I was like, is it going to be, like, freaking Gil and Dante? Because, like, Gil's like, hey, come on, we're besties. With his arm around him, and Dante's like, please don't touch me. Like, hey, glad to see you two out here. Buon anno, Marco and Roberto. Buon anno? Yeah, good Italian New Year's greeting. Yeah, okay. Anno is year, yeah. And bon is good. Bueno sera. Bueno. But bon? I don't know, anyway. I don't know how to pronounce it perfectly. Or at all. Roberto looked away without responding. We volunteered to patrol tonight. It's just a matter of time before the drunks get out of hand. So, like Gilbert? Drunken brawls on top of all that's been... Damn it, the hell are you? Oh, you want to fight? And there it is. Marco heaved a sigh at the commotion. We better get going. You two be safe and stay out of trouble. Right, you be careful too, Marco. Marco went to break up the fight, followed by Roberto. After a few slow footsteps, Roberto stopped and turned around. Happy New Year. You too, Roberto. Despite my surprise, I managed to return his greeting, after which Roberto took his leave. After parting ways with Marco and Roberto, we took a look around the plaza. See, what are you in the mood for? All the food around us smells so good. Maybe we should look for a place to sit first, since it's so busy. Like, we just ate dinner. Like, hey! I don't know who's saying hey. I turned around at the familiar voice. Leo? It's Luca and Oliver! Oh my god, please please have this be an Oliver CG. It's not going to be an Oliver CG, but this! Luca and Oliver too? So happy we see Oliver.
Yeah, I just ran into him a while ago. Oliver keeps bugging me to go home.
Of course I would. You're still a child, Luca. Staying out alone is unwise for a number of reasons.
Like I said, I ain't alone. I met up with some friends earlier.
You should all be at home if you're underage. Being outside late at night is dangerous. Listen to Grandpa Oliver. Your mother's waiting for you, isn't she? Buy something nice for her and hurry home.
Ah, it's fine. It's New Year's Eve. Say, sis, you agree, right?
I didn't want to dash his hopes since it was a special occasion, but I do understand how you feel, Luca. But I also understand how Oliver feels. He's just worried about you because he cares, and he's a big ol' fucking softy.
Fine, I get it. I'll go home at the stroke of midnight. Well, later, see you next year!
Quite literally. Luca quickly disappeared into the crowd. Oliver, are you out by yourself? Okay. I was like, you better be Oliver! I'm like, no, I'm with other members of the Visconti. Gilbert should be around as well. And then again, he's been stopped by every townsperson we've come across so far. I have no idea where he is now, but now that you're here, I'm sure I'll find you somehow. Oliver then noticed Elena looking rather nervous beside me. He then gave a warm smile. Of course he does, he's Oliver, he's so charming. I'd invite you two to join us, but I'm certain you've made other plans already, so perhaps another time. Oliver, I would do anything for you, including ditch Elena. And I love Elena, she's good. But, like, I will fucking push her in a gutter. I will, like, kick her and, like, just Bye, Elena. Yeah, no, Elena left. He's like, didn't you just kick her over the side of that pier? Yeah, she's fine. She wanted to go for a midnight swim. Let's go, Oliver. I must apologize for all the trouble my boss has caused you this year. Words are not enough, so if you need anything, come and see us. And with that, he waved his hand and departed into the crowd. No! My hopes are dashed. Moments later, another familiar voice called out to me.
Oh my, Space!
Julia! I kind of love this ending, though. It's like everybody, oh, hey, okay, Happy New Year, but hey! It's happy moments with everyone. We're going to see everyone here. Julia appeared holding a bag of fried pastries. Are those cartolate? I can't pronounce that. Whatever, were pastry spirals in the shape of rosettes, usually enjoyed at Christmas. Cartolate? I don't know. Some said the round shape was reminiscent of a halo or a crown of thorns. I said, when you said they're round florally things, I was thinking of poinsettias, but...
Yes, a local...
pastisseria? I'm thinking like a patisserie, but anyway.
Involtier has a food stall just over there.
Huh? You mean the one on Vesta Ave? Elena excitedly moved closer to Julia, who responded with a nod and a smile.
That's right. I'm so fond of their pastries, I end up buying them every year. And they should still have some if you go there now, even if the line's a little long. Ah, Bartolo's waiting for me, so I must be going. Happy New Year, my dears.
With that, Julia continued on to the tables. I love how we're just going to run into everyone. This is the best. Elena's eyes sparkled as she turned to me. Hey, Spees, do you mind if I get in line at the whatever stall? Go ahead. I'll find us some seats in the meantime. Grazie. I'll be back in just a minute with enough treats for both of us.
What? Did I hear something about treats?
Lon? A familiar voice reached my ears, and the twins suddenly popped out from behind Elena. Lon and they seemed to already be carrying enough delicious food to last all night.
You're saying there are even more goodies? Where? Tell me!
Julia came from this direction, so maybe it's one of the food stalls over there.
Then let's get going. What goodies are they?
Word I can't pronounce, and they keep saying it. I heard there's a long line, so we should be able to see which one it is right away. We should hurry before they're all sold out.
Nice! Let's go!
The three happily disappeared through the crowd. Hey! Who's saying hey? I'm actually surprised that we're talking to Lee. Okay. I was startled by the stern voice cutting through the air and saw that it was Lee. I was actually surprised to see him attending such a festive event. Have you seen the brats? Oh, if you're talking about Lon and Faye, they went that way. I'm surprised this ending is taking so long, but... Damn it! They come back, don't let them out of your sight. Those little demons have been taking whatever they want without paying a thing. I've been burning a hole in my wallet. To get my hands on them, they're dead meat. Lee stomped off in the direction I was pointing toward. Despite how angry he looked, the fact that he was paying for them must mean something good. Come to think of it, Oliver said that the Visconti family's here, but Stompbird. Don't tell me that everyone from the Lounge Shoe is too. Still, it was unlikely that Yang came with them. He didn't seem to like these events or any place where a large crowd was gathered. Just then I felt a sudden sense of foreboding. I slowly turned around and looked and... Yang?
Are you alone? If so, then why don't we play together?
Well, no, Yang. You're actually here. Oh, yeah.
Why the surprise? I'm not allowed to be here.
No, it's not that. I just never expected you to come. I thought you didn't like these sorts of things. And again, Yang did appear at La Nota di San Lorenzo this summer. Second time, man.
You're correct in that I avoid noisy events as much as possible. But it's far more troublesome to let the brats roam free without supervision. I thought they'd be satisfied if I let them out to graze for a time. They didn't return to the base. I came all this way to wrangle them, so I'd rather not leave until I've done so.
Well, how about buying some food at the stalls? There's a lot of good food to choose from tonight.
I see. A lot is enticing, although... there's a delicacy far more appetizing right in front of me.
I had a bad feeling about this. I have a really great feeling about this! I slowly took a step back when... I felt a firm grip on my shoulders from behind, and a familiar figure stepped in front of me. Cut it out, Yang. Yo.
Cut what out, Redford? All I've done is greet her. And for what I plan next, it was still to be decided. What sort of justice system, is it? Where the innocent are condemned before a crime.
Oh yeah? Something tells me your plans weren't so innocent. In any case, it's practically a crime for you to keep the Signorina all to yourself. Well said. I hope the CG is all of us together. I was startled again by Dante's voice joining the conversation. Standing next to Dante was Nicola, of course it is. Hey Dante, buon anno. I suppose it's my turn to get between you two. You can let him go, Gilbert.
Oh, I didn't expect the Falzone boss to join the festivities tonight. You must have quite a bit of free time.
I can say the same to you. We somehow survived up to this point, so I have no objections to seeing the town enjoying themselves and welcoming a new year. Yeah, he was suddenly on board once I told him a certain someone might be in attendance. Nicola. You're like, who? Duh, it's me. Oh, and that's right, Space. If you don't mind, why don't you come with us to visit Leo? He should be discharged from the hospital soon. Really? I'd love to go. As I nodded enthusiastically, another familiar voice called my name. Warlock.
Bonanno, Space. I'm glad to see you.
Bonanno! Bonanno! Anyway, I didn't know you were here too, Orlok. Hey, Orlok. How has your recovery been going?
Bonanno, the wound is still healing, but it's not so bad I should stay inside.
I know I'm pronouncing that wrong, and it sounds stupid every time I say it. And so came the fiend. Well, I'm sure it's fiend, not fine. Fine or fine dell'anno? The end of the year. Fine, like final. An Italian phrase meaning end of the year, like fine, yeah. The heroes who saved the town from the Phantom were all standing together in the plaza. The townsfolk were enjoying the festivities, not realizing they had been protected from a catastrophe. But I knew it. The Burlon Mafia had risked their very lives for the sake of everyone in this town.
Didn't have a chance to celebrate Christmas this year, but being able to celebrate the new year with everyone together is sort of exciting.
I feel the same way. Warlock voiced the very thing I was thinking, and I couldn't help but break into a smile.
Oh, and I ran into Luca earlier.
Really? In this seemingly endless crowd of people, it was a miracle that any of us were able to meet. We just saw everybody.
Yes, but he said he'd be going home soon. Oh, and he also said to make sure I got some spumante for the new year.
We got a lot to celebrate. What better way than to count down and toast to a new year? Oh my god, it's gonna be like, because isn't that the way the original route that this spun off of ended with all of us together? Isn't it almost time? Let me go and get some spumante for us. Then let me help you.
No, I'll go. You just wait here. I'll help and bring back enough for everyone.
Thank you, Orlok. Oh, I actually came with Elena. Would you be able to get one for her too? Of course. We'll be right back. Nicola nodded and left with Orlok. It's going to be me, my man Harem, and Elena. Fortunately, there were enough places to get spumante not too far from where we stood. They were already at the nearest stall, placing an order for the group.
By the way,
Yang suddenly turned to me.
I hear that it's customary in this country to wear red underwear on New Year's Eve.
Yes, that's right.
I also follow that tradition. Show me.
I like how he just said that, and you're like, girl, you had to know where this was going, right? When he said, it's tradition to wear red underwear, and I was like, oh no. The hell's wrong with you, Yang? Why would you even ask something like that? Yang's always doing something wrong. Orlok and Nicola just returned with the trays of spumante for everyone. Here you go, Space. Thank you, Orlok. Orlok handed me a glass filled with spumante. Look, at least Yang's got the balls to ask. Everyone else was wondering, and they're all thinking about it, but they're not going to say it. A few early fireworks began to go off. As the countdown began, everyone began to join in unison. Everyone, thank you for an incredible 1926. Now we need frickin' Piofiore 1927. It's because of all of you that we can ring in the new year. I looked at them one by one as I expressed my heartfelt gratitude. At the stroke of midnight, the crowd erupted into a cheer. I kind of feel like this ending should have been the one you finished the game with, but I raised my drink high in the air with a smile. Happy New Year! Here's to a wonderful 1927. Where's the fucking CG? Time marched on, bringing inevitable change. Even in the Indomitable Mafia were to be, even if the Indomitable Mafia were to be crushed in name, its spirit would live on. After knowing them for so long, I knew they had the strength to overcome any obstacle. In 1926, the Burlone Mafia forged a path leading to a new future. None of us knew what lay ahead, but I prayed from the bottom of my heart that they'd all live happy lives, just as they had allowed me to live mine. Under the starry winter night, I prayed. I'm just like holding my breath for this CG. No, but where is it? That would have been the perfect thing. We're going to have an after story, and is it really just going to be... Okay, we all were together, and I thought we're going to get a cute, like, group CG. Oh, God. Oh, my God! Oh, my God, is that Emilio? Lon and Faye all grown up. Oh, my God, this is like everybody all grown up. What is happening here? Oh my God, is this everybody as kids? No, because that was like young Julia. Oh my God, wait a minute. Wait a minute. It said all of them? Okay, but what's this one? I thought that was going to be the final one. What is this one and where do you get it? How do you get that one? I would have thought, you know what I mean? Like, hold on. Because, oh my God, what is going on here? Is that freaking Eugene? And that's, why can't I remember his name? The, hold on, I gotta find it. The kid that, with the, and he was only in Gil's route, and now I can't remember his name. Jack, that's what it is. I'm like, I couldn't find it, but Jack. That's like baby Jack. Oh my God, that was his name, right? And that's freaking Mark. Oh my God, I love it. I'm sorry, but like, why is that? Like, and that's Johan. Who's Johan punching in the face? And that's like freaking. Is that freaking Emilio? But he's like 20. What happened? Everybody got younger except for Emilio. But then look at Luca. He's like adult Luca. They showed some of the kids aged up, but everybody else is aged down. Look at the cat. Look at that little fucking cat. What is that? I'm sorry. This little cat right there. That is the cutest freaking cat I've ever seen in my life. Stop it. Yeah, that's Johan. And Luca, but he's like adult, like he's like teenage Luca over there. He's probably supposed to be 20. And like little baby freaking Leo. And like look at little baby Oliver with the sock garters. And our little baby Teo. And like little Elena, is that sister freaking Sophia? Back there with baby Elena. Oh my God. And that's like, look at young Julia. And Yuan and Rui. You know what's interesting? Wait a minute. This is all of our side characters. Yeah, okay. It's all of our side characters because I was like, wait a minute, Dante and Nicola and Yang and everything. This is just all of our freaking baby side characters. Like, it's funny because, like, is that, like, under Teo, is that supposed to be Henry? Because he's got those eyes, but, like, why would he be in here and not everybody else? But look at adult Lon and Faye! Stop it! I love this, but, like, look at Lon and Faye. Look at them. I think it's so funny that they took all the adults and, like, chibi-kidified them, and then, like, All of our kid characters are like all grown up now. Oh my god, look at Oliver! I just want to like zoom out a little bit because like, I'm not gonna lie. You have to be able to see Oliver. That adorable fucking cat. And like freaking... What is happening with Emilio? You can't make Emilio hot. That is just weird. I like it. I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna need like a freaking Piofiore game where all of a sudden Emilio shows up looking like that and you're like, whoa, wait. I'm sorry, what now? We're dating Emilio, right? Like, you can't make him that beautiful. Like, we can't, unfortunately, like, I mean, we can. We can scroll here and you can, like, kind of see everybody. But, like, look at Eugene. He's so sexy. Stop it. Even Marco's daddy. Look at him. He's pretty good looking. Like, good God. This is amazing. Oh, my God. This is so funny. I love little baby. Okay, we got an Oliver CG, technically. Technically. This is not what I expected. I'm also curious as to where that, like, that other one is. You know what I mean? I'm going to assume, I still thought it was going to be, like, the NCG for the game. But it's weird that this wasn't up there, and then, you know what, then the NCG for the game was in this spot. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't all the Alternativa ones, and then the final one. It's Alternativa ones, final one, final Alternativa, but whatever. But, like, I love the fact that, like, oh my god, okay. When Otome Kitten said it's one of the cutest in the game, or the cutest in the game, I was not expecting this. I love that they did this with our side characters, that they were like, alright, let's give you the side character CGs, and, like, just make them so, and, like, aged up Lon and Faye, like, aged down all the adult characters. Yeah, cause that's Johan, so, like, it can only be Henry, because it's not, I doubt that they would put the Phantom in there. Oh my god, no, you know what? That's Raul. Oh my god, I forgot about Raul. That's fucking Raul. Oh my god! Oh my god, I love it! Oh my god, I love it! I didn't even, oh my god, it's freaking Raul. I can't believe I forgot about him. But you know what it is? It's just because he's so, like, everybody else is very identifiable, and then there's Baby Raul over Chibi Baby Raul, and you're like, who the hell's this blonde kid with the gold eye? Like, I can't, you know what I mean? It's very hard. Everybody else is definitively themselves. You know what I mean? Like, Leo looks like Leo. He's got his little Leo choker. Oliver, just, you could just tell Oliver right away. I mean, oh my god. But I love that that's Sister Sophia and Elena. Oh, now we know Sister Sophia's a redhead. Kind of always wondering what she looked like without her habit on, but you can see her hair poking out. See? You can see it. I just want, this is, oh my god. Best CG ever, just these two. Teo, get out. Oh my god. Like, look at Eugene. Gil, that's why you exist, because your dad was hot. Like, he's a slimy douchebag, but oh my god, I love it. And like Marco, like, damn, Marco, look at you. Like, and I'm sorry, also, you can't do this. You cannot make Emilio that pretty. Like, it takes a while to figure out what the hell is going on. Also, who the hell is holding Johan? I love how little baby Johan's looking at that cat. Although, why is Johan chibi baby-fied? Because he's basically, I guess because technically he's like 20 or something. The same with like Leo. So that's why they baby them. Because they're so young that they just, I don't know. But it's like Luca just looks like teenage Luca. He still looks like a kid. But like Emilio, Jesus. I cannot get, if you showed that picture to someone and was like, oh yeah, no, he's like 10, but like, you can't, if they came out with another Piofiore game, and then they were all of a sudden like, oh, by the way, you can date Emilio in this, everyone would be like, wait, whoa, what? That's freaking gross. And then Emilio shows up looking like that, you're like, never mind. It's not weird anymore. They did that with, God, why can't I think of his name right now in Code Realize? Where they showed the CG at the end and you're like, you can't make Deli. When Deli aged up and you were like, you can't make him look like that at the end. Well, he's always been our tiny little munchkin child. You can't make him grow up and look hot. You can't do that. You can't do this to Emilio. It's weird. Oh my god. Oh my god, but I love our little babies. Oh, look at Julia. She's so precious. I love her. Oh my god. And Lon and Faye are so adorable. Look at Faye. He's kind of a snack, isn't he? And Lon's so pretty. Oh my god. I didn't realize that friggin' Rui is like keeping the bun away from Lee. I love Baby Oliver. He's my favorite. Okay, Baby Oliver is second to that damn cat. That cat is just the cutest frickin'... Okay, I'm sorry. Bye, Oliver. I wish the cat was by you, just so we can... Like, I still can't figure out who that is. Because it's not like, not Rosberg, you know what I mean? I mean, it could be. I guess it could be. Supposed to be like the young version or whatever, or they just had to draw someone else. Look at the cat! What is that? That is the cutest freaking thing I've ever seen. Alright, we gotta end because I can't. I could stare at this for days. Anyway, this was the Alternativa route. Everything is done. We will be starting Henry's route next. For you, that'll be like 2 days. Not tomorrow, but the day after. And for me, it's going to be like a week or 2 or 7. I don't know. I'm very far ahead in this game. I've gotten... Because this took forever. But I have to now catch up. I have to start a whole new game that we're going to be playing. Which you're already seeing going up in tandem with this, but I haven't recorded any of that at this point, and that got to go up in like 2 weeks. So I'm like really freaking far ahead on this, really behind on that, because I wanted to finish this. So I know normally it's like a week or 2 in between, but I feel like it's gonna be longer, and we're gonna get to Henry's route, and I'm gonna be like, what the hell game is it? What game is this? How do you work this confounded computer? Anyway. So, yeah, we will be back. I want to zoom in on this, but, like, I kind of also wish, because it's, like, long, I wish you could have, the layout where it's, like, kind of, like, split, you know? Where maybe you could still see, like, cut down the middle, so you could still see Leo. Maybe you don't get to see his full leg, and you could still see, and you could, like, layer them top to bottom. That would have been a little bit better. Instead of long like this, it's hard to see them long. I don't know why they don't think about that. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.